What a pro wants. What a pro needs.
Fucking hot. Boom! I'll grab it. Hands.
Aaron Rodgers, we were just talking about football.
Hot start.
Yep. We can cut that out and restart.
Speaking of looking better than ever, that hat goes hard, Ticks. Kind of like it.
Tell you.
We're the ones. You're the twos.
Next.
Nation, wake the fuck up. We are back, episode 46. 4 more till the big 50. Shout out Joe Vitale. I think he was 46, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. He might be the only Penguin ever to wear 46.
There's probably another one out there.
I'll never forget that hit that he had that caused the entire brawl in Philadelphia.
Joe Vitale was a dog.
Didn't he play for Philly at one point?
I think so.
After us? He played for what? Who? Us? Boston? I want to say he played in Boston for a little while.
I think he did.
And then Philly. And then we never saw him again.
Till today. He's actually on his way here.
He's our second
in the
ever
garage
live
right now.
guest.
We've had more than one live guest.
46 has been worn by 7 players, none of them relevant besides Joe Vitale, Czar,
Oh, for us,
Czar,
that guy.
and then this year's Blake Lizotte also wears 46.
You know, he's in and out of the lineup, so it's hard to keep track.
And Tiggs, you got a lot of room over there, bud.
Somebody went back to Alaska.
Yeah.
I don't think he's fully in Alaska. I think that
He's halfway there.
he cashed in some of his PTO for this year, so he's down to no days left.
Yeah, you know that song by Fetty Wap, No Days Off? That's going to be Corey here pretty soon.
Already used all the PTO, and we're 5 days in.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, he's out due to sickness. Hope for a speedy recovery. Hopefully he gets his voice back. He sounds like this. No, he sounds better. I talked to him last night. It's more of like...
Well, no, because remember he had to talk like this.
You know what he sounds like? You remember the commercial when we were growing up that probably terrified all of us with that lady in the trach about smoking? That's what he sounds like. I mean,
My name is Corey Jones.
yeah, that's what he sounds like. So
Yeah, Corey actually sounded like, as I heard, he was ripping Newports on New Year's.
I don't think that was the case at all. I don't think his flight attendants to Alaska will allow that. So
Happy New Year. How was your guys' holiday? Christmas, New Year's? Good?
they were fine.
Yeah.
I worked most of it, so it
Me
didn't
too.
really matter.
Tiggs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dill? How was Florida?
Well, I wasn't there for New Year's, but
You were there for Christmas.
yeah, it was warm. I'll tell you that.
How's the cat?
Crazy,
Saw the cat was like
crazy wild.
doing acrobats on like the ceiling.
We're not going to talk about him today.
Ricky Bobby.
Just a different kind of animal.
He's just
Different-
built different.
Different kind of cat. Different cat.
Yeah. You know what kind of cats I like? None of them. They don't like me either.
I definitely thought that was going not in that direction, so we're just gonna leave that there. I thought that was going a completely different direction.
Just a little heads up throughout the podcast right now. We have the Penguin game on. I'm sure we will, if we're still here, tune into the Sunday night game. There's big stakes on the line, but we'll cover that later. We'll review our hot takes from our last episode here. I said the Pirates are going to sign for someone more than $10 million a year. I don't think anyone's signed in the whole league within the last 2 weeks.
No, there's a few, but the Pirates didn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But at least over like the Christmas break.
And they were probably all over 10 mil.
Hey, Charlie Morton
Just
was
off
over
of the
10 mil.
Pirates.
He should have came back to Pittsburgh.
No, I don't want him.
No, because we probably offered him 5.
No, that dude is sitting up like the Undertaker every year just to come and pitch in the MLB.
I got that wrong. Go figure. Dill said that Russell's going to throw for 300 against the Chiefs.
What do you have against the Chiefs?
Not 300.
He's like 6.
Declined to answer. The Jays said the Pens were going to sweep the Islanders in the home and home.
I was real close.
You were, except that first game
They got smoked.
yeah, they were winning. It was like 1-0, and then it was
not 1-0. I was watching that. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. But I was at the Flyers game and they beat the shit.
Oh, that was a good ass game.
They pounded them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a shout out to Lexus Club for chicken tenders. That's
Shout
what
out
I
to
had there.
Shout out to my season ticket rep for hooking me up. And Corey says Steelers are going to beat the frauds that are the Chiefs by 10 or more.
Oof.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
We actually only scored 10 points.
So if they would have shut them out, I mean, they didn't.
They did not.
Not even
did not.
close.
And Tig says the Pit was going to beat Duke.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy against me because this was originally supposed to be probably at least on that Tuesday, and I made that hot take, and everybody's like, no, we're doing it on Sunday.
It still was going to be wrong either way, so I don't know why you're complaining.
So here's the
Do you
thing.
do this? I don't like the negativity.
I
but
don't
we're gonna let
either.
it- We're going to let it ride.
All about the negativity over there now.
Don't schedule stuff so close to the
Well,
deadlines.
you know, it was a spicy one. I had to take it.
It was so spicy. Didn't even register.
Trying to see if the spread's out yet.
I think for basketball, it's usually like the day before.
Yeah, it's not out yet. Probably be out tomorrow.
It'll be 35 and a half.
Review our hot takes record all time here. Myself and Dill still yet again tied at 10-34. The
I
James,
feel like you guys been at 10 for a little while here.
we have been.
Like
yeah.
I feel like when I started, you guys were at like 9.
Yeah, it's been a rough go here.
Rough sled.
The James is at third, 8-13. Tiggs is still kind of his rear at 7-37, and bringing up the back, Gory 5-39. 5 more before 1. Can he do it?
No, not a
Absolutely
shot.
not.
No way. He's actually just gonna be wrong next week. So
Hoping for Corey 5 before 1.
not happening. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you when you're 5-40.
Yep.
And then the conversation is going to be
You could get 5 before
10
50.
before 50.
Yeah, and we're still gonna take the big fat no on that. So
5 before 100.
I mean, he has.
I mean,
5
I
right
would
now, so
I would take that.
You mean 10 before 100?
That's I just meant like 5 more
Yeah.
before 100.
I would take
losses.
5 more before 100, and that might even be a bit much.
So as you might have saw on our social medias, we brought back the anonymous Q&A for this episode. So we're going to go over some of the questions that were asked to us and give you guys our answers. First question, we'll start real hot. Should the Steelers get rid of Mike Tomlin?
Oh, I know who sent this question.
Corey's dad.
No, it was his mom.
It was my mom.
Any answers from the crowd before I go?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I mean,
Oh, that was his answer.
that was my answer.
yeah.
Yes.
Should they? Probably. Will they? No.
No. If they could get a first for him, I would highly consider it.
You know who I would really like to get? Like,
Vrabel.
yeah, Vrabel would be great. I would even take if Kevin O'Connell, because they're talking about maybe. I saw a rumor today that people have him really high on their board to like trade a pick for. If he's in the conversation to be traded, like to get traded, which I think Minnesota would be crazy to do that. I would take him every day of the week.
Dill, any thoughts?
They should, but they won't.
I wonder where you got that answer
Obviously.
from.
Great answer. Great answer. We're playing Family Feud over here.
Well, something I saw earlier today, I can't remember who tweeted it, but they were like, Chuck Noll's final season as the head coach. Like they went like 7-9 or something like that, and immediately following the next season, they hired Bill Cowher. They didn't even really make like too many changes to the lineup, but they immediately won like 11 games that following season.
Well, Tomlin's early success was all Cowher's team.
I would say the majority, yes. I think they showed it last night on the broadcast. His first 3 seasons, I think he's like 5-3 in the playoffs. We won the Super Bowl. In the last 7 times that we've made the playoffs, it's like it's a totally different stat.
Yeah, that's a big old zero. Our last playoff one was 2016.
The simplest way to put it is like the same way we were talking about Sullivan earlier in the season. Is just every coach has an expiration date,
Yeah.
and I think he's hit his.
And I mean, I think personally, every coach in Pittsburgh has hit their expiration date.
Especially the one that plays at PNC.
Our second question here is they want to know our projected stats / performance for Andy Rodriguez this year, and where do you think he's going to end up playing at?
He'll be the backup catcher.
I have him as the backup catcher to Joey Bart, and also backing up Horowitz if we don't get anyone else at first base.
Yeah, that probably is about where.
For like off days or
As far as stats, I don't like. He's probably gonna hit like 240, just like the rest of our lineup. So
I said depending on how many games he plays, probably 245 and 12 home runs.
okay, I was gonna say 240 and 10. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I mean, he's gonna get playing time. I don't know where it's going to be. It could be in the outfield. It could be at first base. It could be catching. But I think he'll get at least a decent amount of playing time. I mean, obviously he's coming back from a pretty significant injury.
Yeah. Dill, any comments on Endy?
I'm going to call out takes here because just like you said about the injury, I don't think he'll play outfield because I think it's too much stress on his arm.
I don't think he's
But
ever
also,
played outfield. I know he's played second, a little
Pretty
bit of
sure he
second.
got some time in right field in the
I
minors.
feel like, I don't know, that's scary. But my projection is bats 250, 15 home runs, 60 RBIs if he plays the full season.
I said Penn's deadline most likely to move on the team. There has been no contract negotiations or talks with Marcus Pettersson. Hope they don't trade him. I think he's been playing real well. Obviously, he was hurt. Still waiting to get that stick signed, so please don't get traded for it. You at least sign my stick.
He's like, selfish reasons, please don't move.
I don't have a player in mind, but I think it's going to be someone from the Canucks.
I would be really, really over the moon if we could get Brock Besser. I've always liked him.
for the fourth year in a row.
Yes, I said that last year. I will say it again this year. I think he would be a great fit here. I do think Pettersson's probably moving. I think that Carlson could be moving, depending on if it really depends on like this month and a little bit of next month to figure out where we're gonna be. Because if we just why are we keeping Carlson? I mean, they're not moving on from Letang. They're not moving on from Gino. They're not moving on from Sid. The one right after that's Carlson. I don't think they're sending Rust anywhere.
No, absolutely not. I think Raquel is like.
He might be. I think he's more than welcome to stay.
Yes.
I think since he picked his stuff up. I think that they're not going to touch that. So I would agree with Pettersson and Carlson. I could see Glass maybe moving. He's like a cheap rental.
Yeah. That's going to. Tiggs, anybody?
That's what I was going to say, too. It's kind of hard to say right now because it really just depends on how they play over the next month because you're kind of in a little bit of a gray area right now where you're lingering around the playoffs, but you're kind of just in purgatory at the moment.
Well, I feel like the thing is Dubas came out and was like, we're looking to make moves. They send Lars Eller, who at that time was one of our better forwards. They send him to Washington. And when we did that, the Rangers also came out and said, hey, we're looking to make a move. The Rangers since then have done nothing, although they did win today. But we've done like the opposite. Like if the Rangers, we were both here, the Rangers went here and we went here. So it's like, I think even when you watch the team looks different than it did when we were talking last November even.
100% I agree.
So I think, again, it really depends on what the next month looks like. I can tell you what we're not doing. We're not trading Sid, so.
Dill, any other thoughts?
I actually think we might trade Raquel. I think since he's playing very well lately, his trade value is going to be higher, and I feel like they might, for the right package of prospects, send him away.
That's a good. I think
that's
a fair.
Do I want him to leave? Absolutely not. But I think at the end of the day,
is this his last year? Or does he have 2 years?
He has
1 year left.
This one and next one still. I think. No, I think he might have another one because it was 6x6, wasn't it?
I thought it was
That was 5.
5 or 5x5.
I don't think it's. I don't know.
I think it was 5. I think it was lower than that.
4-for-4.
I could crush a 4. Well,
Bring it back.
they
Was
don't
it a
exist
3? Was
anymore,
it actually a 3 for 3 or a 2 for 2?
It was a biggie bag.
Right.
actually.
It was the Happy Meals.
Our next question here is one realistic Pirates off-season acquisition. There's been a lot of
well, they're all gone. So
there's been a lot of talks about Verdugo floating around the
please,
Pirates.
please,
Yeah, thanks. I wasn't going to talk about that.
We can
please,
talk about it later again.
for the love of God, no, I don't like him. I didn't like him when he was on the Red Sox. I didn't care when he was on the Yankees because he wasn't on the Red Sox, and I don't want him on the Pirates.
I think one guy the Pirates should try to sign for maybe like 5 to 7 mil a year for like 1 year deal is Jose Leclerc.
I thought you were going to say Profar because that's who I was going to say, and I was going to be real ticked off real quick.
It's still available.
I would say Profar.
Money?
I don't know what he would. He had one. He had a lot of really bad years and one really
Profar?
good year.
At least get 10 a year.
Yeah, I would say. Why couldn't you do him 3 for 45?
You could, but
I feel like that's
And he could play just about anywhere, too.
he plays the entire outfield.
Yeah. Cheat code on will be the show.
Right. You could put him and
Second,
Cruz.
short, third, whole outfield.
He's like the IKF of the outfield. Pick a spot. He's there.
Tiggs?
I mean, I was just gonna say Verdugo because we're more than likely signing him.
No.
Okay.
Not buying that
Kept
jersey.
it nice and easy.
If he's at Pirate Fest, guess what? I'm still not going.
Dill?
Give me Vladdy. Don't care.
When? Next year?
So say Corey's not even a free agent.
Give me Vladdy. I don't care.
Did you see that people are saying that so because of what Soto signed for and he's similar age, they're like, oh, he's going to get over 700. Not a shot.
No.
There is
He might get
no.
in the ballpark at like 350, 400.
I said I think 450 is about where he should be to the Red Sox.
Or are you waiting for us to acknowledge you, our tribal chief?
Yeah, right. Well, you might want to put it a little bit
What was
higher.
the question? Was it acquisition
Yes.
or free agent signing?
Realistic Pirates offseason ads was the real question.
Okay, I'm going to take that as an acquisition, and I'm going to say Taylor Ward then.
We've been trying to get Taylor Ward for how many years?
Too many.
Yeah,
I would take him in a heartbeat.
about the same amount of time I've been saying I want Besser on the Penguins. So
Pirate record prediction. I'm going to go 80 and 82.
I feel like we should just skip this question and just come back to it
when we have a full
when we
roster.
have a full offseason.
All right, we'll tell that listener his questions.
Hi, we're actually gonna we're gonna take an IOU on that, and
All right, moving on.
I still think they could win 90. I'm
could.
gonna pick 90 until Corey's jumping in a river again.
All right, next question here. Permanis, overrated, underrated, or properly rated?
I feel
Depends on who you ask.
Well, I'm asking you guys.
well, he ain't asking the ghost of Christmas past.
He's not asking the Cleveland Browns franchise.
I would say it's properly
I
rated.
agree, properly.
I do too. I mean, it gets stale after a while, but at least they add new sandwiches and stuff. And I mean, it's not bad. It's not.
It's definitely not overrated. If anything, if not properly, it's slightly underrated.
I think it's an acquired thing. Like, I think when people come from out of state and they're like, what the F is this? Probably justified. However, if you're from here, I feel like it's like a...
Stable.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
if somebody comes in from out of town, where are you taking them? You're probably
Permanis.
taking them to Pam's.
Park.
Eat part. I ain't taking them to see Smiley when I got a Pam pancake waiting for me. Like, you're probably taking them there, Permanis, Market Square. Like, you know. Like,
McFadden's.
yeah, right.
Backdraft Bar and Grill.
Mario's.
Like, I'll say, like, if anybody ever asks me, like, you want to go get Permanis, I'm not going to say no.
Fair. Do any
Right.
thoughts?
Remember
I think
when?
it's
Remember when somebody tried to pay you with a gift card for a tip, and then didn't know you could actually do that?
I would say for like people that don't live in Pittsburgh, it's like a novelty kind of thing, so it's like an obligation to go. I think it's properly rated, except for the pizza, which is underrated. I think
I would.
Oh,
that's
that's
a
fair.
that's a
Yeah,
good
the
that's a
dollar
good
pizza's
statement.
Actually pretty
$1.50 a
good.
slice.
yes.
Yeah, where
Or
are
the
you getting that
personal
at?
Pizzas, oh, crush them.
Where are you getting $1.50 a
Their
slice
spicy
at?
ranch wings are gas.
They have,
too.
like, a weeknight special for it.
You know, I know that, but
No,
I'm like, where are
$1.50
you?
a slice is
Like, what are you getting?
$1.50 a slice is every day.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Mm.
But
Every
like,
day, all day.
where are you getting that? You can't even go to Sheets and get that deal.
How much is it at Fiore's? Because it's actually not that expensive at
I don't know, but
Fiore's.
A
I've been to
slice
Fiore's
or
in
an
forever.
actual pizza?
No, like a slice. I'm pretty sure
I
a
don't
slice is
know.
only like $3.
Who the hell goes to who? No, that's a lie. Because a large pizza is like 40, so there's no way that equates. The only thing about Fiore's, which that's my favorite, diet pizza joint in the city. Their service in there, like cell reception, awful.
Oh, I thought you meant like they're like
I think
service to you.
Oh no, they're always great. I think Old Man Fiore like knocks out the cell service because it used to be a mob hangout. Like I'm convinced. You ever see him walking around? Like especially the dude that waits on people. He's like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And then you like give him. He's like, "Okay," and he turns around. He's like, "Where's it at?" You're like, "It's all right, dude. I just got the text message. It's probably on the rack somewhere."
Our next question here is a big one. Earlier in the year, the Steelers were great with turnover ratio, but has stalled since. With TJ and Alex Highsmith leading the way, how can the Steelers maximize their defensive line potential to create more turnovers and disrupt opposing quarterbacks as we head into the playoffs?
Can I answer this first?
Sure, go ahead.
Maybe actually blitz for once.
Yeah, I feel like we just
I
blitzed.
feel like somebody else could have went first on that.
Texas is like the guy at Fiore's. Can we actually blitz for once? Make sure you put a listener discretion advised on that before someone blows out their speakers in their car.
Oh, they got it now.
I agree.
I would say too, like, and they actually made this point on the broadcast last night. I don't know why they were highlighting a dude that was on TJ the entire game, which I found out last night he's kind of a POS and like cheated on his fiance and stuff.
great.
So shout out to that guy from the Bengals. But TJ, I don't know. TJ only lines up on the one side. Why do we only line him up on the one side? Why can't we just like get him to move or design a play where he can move? Like there was a game, I can't remember who it was against, but like they like crisscrossed him and whoever was next to him. It might have been Preston Smith, and he had a beeline in the middle, just nobody on him. Why can't we try doing that?
That would involve changing the game plan.
Well, I do think Austin. He's another one. He's kind of like Warad is welcome. Like you have very, very talented guys back there on defense, and you are running zone coverage with Corey Trice. Just make sure he stays in front of you. Like, it's like whenever I used to have a kid that I coached, and we would be like, famous phrase of mine, "Who's your guy?" He would just do this and just point to his guy playing defense. I'm like, that's a new strategy. I've never seen that.
Any other thoughts?
Blitz.
I think, too, we have to, like, when the ball's loose, we got to get on it. The last few weeks, we've had a lot of turnovers.
Except Connor
generated.
Hayward yesterday. That dude came out of nowhere to get that ball.
The funniest thing, it was in a group message of mine, and I'm not going to say on camera who said it, but you guys could probably guess who said it. They said that's the greatest thing he's ever done in a Steelers uniform.
Does his name rhyme with Rye?
No, his name rhymes with Innie. So,
Innie?
Yeah.
Like a belly button?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Name could also be shortened.
Why are you in a group chat with Lenny?
I'm not in a group chat with Lenny.
That doesn't even rhyme.
Close enough, Tiggs. You got the point.
It's not.
Innie, Lenny.
Yeah, he said that's the fastest I've ever seen that guy run.
It's because he's fighting for his life to try to still get playing time because he sucks.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, the ball."
Hayward. You ever seen that commercial?
No.
The Cohen one?
I don't watch TV.
You've watched the Steeler game. You've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
They're sitting in the Cohen gas station going, Hayward.
Hayward. I actually don't watch commercials. I just turn on something else.
He's like, I actually just
he doesn't have the attention span for commercials.
I actually just black out the TV until the game comes back
I
on.
turn it off. Do you have any other thoughts on defense? No? Okay. Back to the Pirates here.
Oh, God.
Ben Sherrington has been at the helm for a few seasons now. How would you evaluate his performance as general manager, and do you think his vision for the team is right on track?
I would say it's slightly below average. His vision for the team is there. The execution of the vision is not.
We're in year what? This is year 6?
5.
5 or 6.
Because he knows what he's doing, right? Because he built the Red Sox teams.
Correct.
So he knows what he's doing. The difference is when you're in Boston compared to here, Boston has a GM that goes out and spends the money or makes the trades or puts them in a position where they can go and do that type of stuff.
That would be the owner.
Yeah, him. Our owner likes to ski. And so he likes
Pretty
to
sure
ski.
he sold like part of
He
it.
sold all of it. And then and now he just has the whiskey joint down in the strip that if you ever walk by, it looks like you could see a tumbleweed just in the thing. So I think it's slightly below average. I think his vision is there, the execution is not.
I have nothing else to say. I agree.
I would say similar, like maybe slightly below average. He actually is pretty good at drafting.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's built up the farm pretty good. Now whether that's fully on him, whether that's on the scouts he hires, it's still falls on him. But yeah, he just needs to find ways to work with what he has, because that's just unfortunately the way it is.
Dill?
I think if he had free reign to spend more money, he would be a lot better GM. But unfortunately, that's not his choice. So I feel like he's kind of handcuffed as to what he can do. And I think he's doing the best that he can so far.
At what point do you think that MLB steps in for the Pirates?
They won't.
I know they
because
won't.
the Dodgers are just running freely around this goddamn league and doing whatever the hell they want.
I mean,
Until it starts hitting the league's pockets, they would never do anything.
well, it will never do that.
Yeah.
3 questions left. Actually, 4. Sorry. Can't count. Justin's Field. There we go.
Did you even do that?
No, I didn't actually. Justin Fields has expressed his desire to remain in Pittsburgh next season and beyond. Do you think the Steelers should commit to him as their franchise
I
quarterback?
think we should.
Oh, that answer is
Take the floor.
that answer is 100% yes. I'm all on board the Justin Fields bus. I think you do. Do I think contract-wise? I don't know what it would look like. I would say he was making 25 that they didn't do. I would say if they can get him for somewhere around 30 to 35 a year, like the Geno Smith contract, I think that's a fair value. Do it as a bridge deal. If he performs the way that we think he can, you sign him to a much bigger and larger deal. He's 25, 26. I think he's 25, 26. Why would you not try? I mean, you saw what he did earlier in the year, and our line was bad. Our line's still bad, but it was bad when we started, and he was 4-2 and first in the division.
I agree.
The only thing that even scares me about him is his vision, but I mean that could be worked on.
Well, yeah, they have LASIK, they have glasses, they have
Rex Specs.
the Kurt Rambis.
But yeah, I think a 3. If we're gonna bring him back, like something like you said, like a 3-year deal, just like kind of like
Do
a
the
prove
Baker,
it deal.
do the Baker contract.
Yeah.
Baker's a dog too.
Wasn't Baker's like 4x100 something?
Yeah, but his deal right before that was 2 years. It was 2 to 3 years, and it wasn't. I want to say the last one he signed with Tampa Bay. I don't think he was on a 1 year, because he was there. He might have been on a 1 year, and then they re-signed him. But I think a bridge deal would be perfect for Fields. See what he can do with the offense. Please get like another lineman and maybe a receiver or 6, and give him help. Go ahead, Dill.
Baker originally signed a 1-year deal in Tampa, 1x4, and then he re-signed for 3x100.
Yeah, he went from $4 million to a lot more than $4 million.
I don't think 100, because that equates to what are you looking
Like
at?
33.
33. Yeah,
33,
that's a fair deal.
Give him the jerks and Pro 4
Yeah.
3x45.
I don't know if I have to 3x45. I think 3 for 100 is fair. Like, I think that's a fair market for what he would do.
Baker also was a starter when he signed that deal, though. Fields is not.
True. But Fields is significantly younger than Baker is.
That's true.
Leading on here, Pitt women's volleyball has consistently performed at a high level in recent years. What do you think their program needs to focus on moving forward to stay competitive and at the top of the national level to continue building on their recent success?
That's a strong question.
That sounds like a you question to take the lead on that one.
I would say the biggest thing, at least from watching them over the last 2 years, is the defense. Getting Bree Kelly definitely helped us. Like, it helped this year, especially because she was healthy this year. But, like, when you watch teams like Wisconsin, when you watch Nebraska is a really good team, and I said this, I may have said it to Dill. When I watched Nebraska play their, I can't remember who they played Wisconsin. They were all over the floor. Like, their defense was incredible. I think for the Pitt women's team, it was a lot of up and down. Like, they would smoke a set, and then they would, like, start a set real slow. Then they would smoke the next set, and then they would start a set real slow. Like, it's really hard to maintain momentum playing volleyball, but I think that the defense and the overall like the start to each set is really what's going to help them as they continue to go. Anybody else?
I think you covered it
I
perfectly.
was going to say go see a witch doctor.
I don't know what that means.
They might be cursed. I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't think they are. I just think that they're at the stage where you're winning and you're winning and you're winning and you're winning and you can't get over the same hump, and it's nothing that you don't need to make when you're at that point, and it's from a coaching perspective, when you're at that point you don't need to make a huge significant change. Like, that's not what needed. It's a detail that needs changed, and that's the difference. So I think maybe getting a little bit better on defense and keeping your energy throughout the entire sets and carrying from one set over to the next set, I think will help them because you build momentum as you go.
What's his name? Dan Fisher. Yeah, I was going to say pay him whatever he wants to.
That dude is real
so
tall.
we don't lose him to the national team.
That man of the world, yeah. The Pick Collective NIL or whatever we're called put out a flyer for him because
It's called the 4-2 Alliance, I believe.
That's what it is.
NIL thing
I knew it was something with... Oh, there goes my phone.
Anything else before we go on to our last question?
Nope.
Last question is just for you, buddy.
Nope. I don't want it.
You know what it is?
Yeah, I know what it is. You sent them to us.
That's right. Kind of forgot. It's that foggy brain.
Yeah, that's it.
Zach, having coached for over 5 years now, who have been some of your favorite players to work with, and what has coaching meant to you?
I'm not answering the first part. I will never answer the first part.
Jordan Melfi.
The people that I have had the privilege to coach and work with over the last 7 years know who they are. As far as what coaching means to me, it means everything to me. I think that when you're tasked with the responsibility that I have to help young men grow into functional members of society, it's not a responsibility that should be taken lightly, and I haven't. I'm not there to be their friend, although I am. I'm not there to tell them what they want to hear. There's times where we butt heads. There's times where I might want to take one of their heads off. But at the end of the day, we're all fighting for the same goal, and I'm very, very fortunate for the last 3 years that I've been the head coach to achieve a lot of success. It's not just because of me. My staff's great. The kids I have are great. The school's great. So coaching means it's one of the most one of the highest honors I've had in my life. All right.
Question wasn't for you.
Question
Go ahead,
from the
Dill.
gallery. How many championships you at again?
4.
Soon to be 5.
Yeah, I had shout out to Bird who
You mean 6. JV.
if I get JV and varsity, it would be 6. Yeah, shout out to Bird. Bird hired me as a coach and then left, and I've won I've won 3 regular seasons and 1 summer league since Bird stepped aside. And I remind him every day I see him.
Shout out Birdman.
The flock of birds.
Chris, what was his name? Chris
Alave?
No.
Yeah.
No, the white dude who used to play for the Heat.
Chris
Anderson?
Yeah,
The Birdman.
Yeah. Birdman.
Yeah, he had that neck tattoo all the way up
with
with
a
that
giant mohawk.
Yeah, now nobody watches the NBA.
Yeah,
They don't. It sucks.
it's a dying league, unfortunately,
Yeah. That's Jimmy Butler.
because they don't know how to market their stars.
Oh.
While we're on that note, yeah, put it down. I saw a graphic today, and this was like to the point of how the NBA doesn't know how to market their stars. Wembanyama so far is outpacing basically every like early career record set by like every legend, and
You don't hear
nobody
anything about
cares.
it. The other night, I want to say he had 23 points and 20 rebounds, but Jokic had like 46 points. You didn't see that anywhere. They have no idea. They have the same problem the NHL has.
Well, they also have the same problem that the MLB had in the early 2010s with like Mike Trout.
Yeah, they just
They don't market their high stars very well.
No, I mean, I think Anthony Edwards is sick.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
he
I
is
love him.
sick. Can't find him anywhere. They actually just find him recently because of this post-game
it's all
comments.
just LeBron and Curry
Well, I
with
mean,
a little bit of Luka sprinkled in.
for the he's hurt right now, but for the majority of the NBA of our lifetime, it's been LeBron, Steph. You could
KD,
Durant,
yeah.
KD's in there. You could put Kyrie Irving in there. I think I think one of like they just don't market their guys, and even the legends that they have, they still don't market it. I was watching TNT. The broadcast with Shaq and that crew was more entertaining than watching the current
Oh, they're great.
reigning champion
Defending.
Celtics play the Timberwolves.
Undisputed.
Like, how is the in between quarter broadcast better than the actual game? Like, that's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that note, that about covers our NBA coverage for 2025. So
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for submitting your questions. Maybe we'll do this again in the summertime. I enjoy these. These are fun.
I'm still never answering who my favorite player is.
I answered it for you.
I will never answer that question.
On that note, we'll move right into football here because week 17?
18.
I don't know.
I can't
18.
keep track anymore.
There's just too many.
Week 18.
Has officially ended outside of the game tonight.
And
I
tomorrow.
don't think there's a Monday night game tomorrow. I think
Oh, there is no
Thursday's
Monday night game?
I don't believe so.
Got it.
Just tonight. Since Corey's not here, I'll step in and cover his college football here. Penn State absolutely destroyed Boise State 31-14. They held Genty to a season low 104 yards rushing.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He also had 2 fumbles.
The first one wasn't. The first one was kind of crazy. I think it was the first one on the sideline.
Yeah.
When the dude like toe tapped to like save it. I didn't watch the game. I just saw highlights. I don't really watch college football that honest, to be honest with you. Texas faced Arizona State. That game was 39-31 in double OT.
that game made me mad.
Why?
Somehow that was the most
targeting
exciting
call
game.
was like the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Didn't watch it.
That was so. The guy turns. All you see is a run across the field, and you can watch it happening. He's running this way, the other guy's running this way, and all you see is him. He is drilled, like helmet to helmet, just poof.
Put the crown of his helmet right through
His
the
head
dude's
looked like
face
he was on
mask.
Squid Games, and he just got shot. He was like, boom, and then he's laying on the ground, just looking like Tweety birds flying around up here. And then they're like, we're going to review this for targeting. And everyone in the whole stadium was like, oh, great. Arizona State's going to get into field goal range. Their kicker can't kick for shit. He's going to make this. This is how they're going to win. They come back. They're like, no targeting. The entire stadium, I think, collectively went, what?
Like their jaws literally
Yeah.
hit the ground.
Their coach, who I don't know what his name is, but he was screaming. He's like, that's blatantly targeting. I was like, yeah, that's bad. Like, that was, if that's not targeting, I don't know what the rule is, because that's what it is.
But side note, Scadabo is a dog, and I want him on the Steelers.
I don't.
Is that the running back?
Yes.
Mhm.
He's very small.
He was like Jalen Warren.
Yeah, but why do we need 2 of them?
Because
We already have one.
Who's better than one?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can he play receiver?
No. The other thing, too, is his cardio was, I mean, he had a fantastic game. He had a great season, too. His cardio was terrible.
He was sick that game. If you look, he was like throwing up profusely on the sideline in the fourth quarter. So I think he was playing
That could have been it, too.
with an
Maybe he
illness.
had Fryermuth's girlfriend's banana bread.
What?
You don't remember that when
No.
Najee said he was? Remember when
Oh,
Najee came out?
yeah.
A few weeks ago. Yeah.
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 He was. I was over Pat's house and his girlfriend made like this banana bread and it just hit me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that could have played a role in it, but I don't know.
Banana bread.
He'll be a day 3 pick. I don't think he's a day 2. Hell of a game, though.
The Jameses, Ohio State Buckeyes, got their revenge on Oregon. Absolutely steamrolled them, 41-21. Oregon's first loss of the season.
Yeah, how you doing? Sit the fuck down.
We are sitting.
Oregon is too.
Dylan's actually like.
They came out like the first 3 touchdowns. It was just like boom, boom, boom. I was like,
I forgot the game was on, and I turned it on. It was like the beginning of the second quarter. And they
I
were
was
down
watching
like
it at
21.
my I was watching it at my house. I don't think Ty was over, but we were texting about it. But Ken's was over, and we were sitting there, and obviously I was at the Rose Bowl, and I go, hey, I'll be there.
Can I tell you something about that game?
What?
I didn't watch it either.
I think I'm getting a sense of you didn't watch any of them.
Been busy. You will be at the Rose Bowl.
I will be at the Rose Bowl. I will be standing on the 50-yard line. That's where the finish line is for the second year in a row. Like, that's sick.
Maybe you could touch a grass that Reggie Bush once touched.
Yeah, I'm going to take his Heisman, too.
You got that back.
Yeah, you finish on the 50-yard line, which I think's sick.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Make sure you high step.
No.
Our last game here, actually second last game I'm going to cover. Georgia loses to Notre Dame, 23-10. Donovan Heinisch, younger brother of Kurt Heinisch, who we previously had on the podcast, calls game with sack on fourth down to end it. Yeah.
So we're getting that jersey. So.
Yeah, we'll basically just
Georgia's washed.
They are.
Well, the issue is you have a portal now that people go in like cotton candy, and they just transfer for everything. Like the old times of like Georgia and the SEC teams that are powerhouses that go straight to the NFL is done. It's dead. It just is. Georgia used to have a starting cornerback that was going to be the first or second overall pick. Then you'd have a backup that would have been like the 10th or the 11th overall pick, and now you have Carson Beck.
Said the slot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but I actually did not do that.
Question before you go on, real quick. Do you think that they changed the transfer portal requirements at some point to where you're only allowed to transfer once in your career?
I think
Unless
twice.
it's out, or maybe twice. But like, you got to put a limit on these, right? There's guys every year.
You got dudes doing jersey swaps with themselves every year.
I've seen people talking about that, like officially, but I think something needs to be done.
Yeah, you can't start at Georgia, then go to Alabama, then go to LSU.
Or
then
if like you transfer more than once, like they go back to the way it used to be, where you have to like sit out a year.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Like Cam Rising is going back to school. Why? He's the same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence. Why are you going back to college? What are you doing that's so great in where's he at? Utah? The Utah Utes? Like, get the F out of here.
Hey, the tight end from Miami, the 9th year.
Yeah, he retired.
Thought he was going to retire. Wait,
Yeah.
I was dead. Did you know how all these people like when they post like they're declaring for the draft or declaring for? Like,
Oh, you're talking about
Oh,
that kid that declared for the job?
He
Yeah, I
declared,
So
saw
funny.
that.
He declared for the workforce, and it was like at the bottom was his LinkedIn.
Yeah,
fucking
that was
profile.
like what a great creative twist on that.
Here's my resume attached
Yeah.
to the bottom.
Ohio State will face off Texas at 7:30 on this Friday, and Notre Dame will face off against Penn State Thursday at 7:30.
Dill, you have something to add?
The last thing I want to say, did you guys see that picture of the lineman flexing with the Georgia logo
Yes.
on his bicep, and he committed to Alabama?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got
It's
a
literally
big
clear
bulldog
as day right here. Looks like the Superman logo right
Yeah.
here.
And he's in an Alabama jersey.
Shout out to Ohio State. Hope they stomp them. It's in Texas too.
That's kind of beat.
Yeah, but Ohio State travels well. The whole Rose Bowl stadium was red, and it wasn't because it was the Rose Bowl.
Maybe they were wearing USC jerseys.
I don't think
Thoughts, questions? How do we feel about these bowl games still being named, even though they're not like?
I still
Bowl
feel like you
games.
have to name them.
Yeah, you can't like
But,
that's
like,
a tradition.
no
You
I mean,
can't
the,
get rid
the
of
Rose
it.
Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Sugar Bowl are like three of the biggest bowl name games that you could like think of in history.
the thing. Go ahead, Dill. Sorry.
I was gonna say, but the Rose Bowl used to be the national championship at one point. Now
Yes.
it's just like a playoff game. Like it's lost its meaning over the years. It was kind of the point I was getting to.
Well, last year or previous years, it was still part of the Final Four. So it wasn't necessarily the national. Was it the national championship then too?
No, the Rose Bowl was not.
No, like I think whenever Vince Young won it with Texas, that was like the Rose Bowl, was it
Yes.
not? That's
I
what
think
meant,
that-
like,
I think
wow,
you're
the-
correct.
But
like
like
that
the
long
last
ago.
7 or 8 years, it's been the national championship.
Yeah.
I think that the Rose Bowl to me is just significantly different than the other three, because the other three are played at NFL stadiums that NFL teams play on. The Rose Bowl is the only one that has its own stadium, and yeah, USC sometimes plays there. That's not their full time. I think they play the Coliseum. Might be the other. I don't know what the other name is, but like when you go there from somebody that I went there last year for the first time. There, like you could just like feel it. Like it's just like there. Like I stood there last time at 6 a.m. preparing to run 13 miles like an idiot, and I'm
Doing it
like,
again.
yeah, and then I'm doing it again with no training again. But like you're standing there and you look up and it says Rose Bowl. You stand on the field and like it's hard to not when you do those types of things to think to yourself like, there's college athletes that got recruited that never stepped foot on this field. And I'm a kid from Pittsburgh that decided to be an idiot and run 13.1 miles, and I'm standing on this field. Like, the Rose Bowl to me is just, there's so much more meaning around that one specifically. Like, do I care about the Fiesta Bowl? No, not since Tostitos left it, because now it's like the Verbo Fiesta.
What about the Games Above Advantage Bowl?
No, don't like that either.
Games above sports.
Sports. Sorry.
Yeah, like what does that even mean?
Did you guys see the tweet that was like, I pray with my entire existence that UNC plays in the Duke's Mayo Bowl next year and they win it. To see Bill Belichick get the Mayo dumped on him.
Could you imagine?
He'd retire again.
Yeah, but the Cotton Bowl's in Texas. I don't know where the Orange Bowl is. I would imagine that's got to be Georgia or Florida.
It definitely has to be Florida.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Georgia, but we're going to take that back.
Peaches.
Yeah, I mean, they're both orange, technically.
Peach Bowl. Probably in
The Peach Bowl's in Atlanta.
Which is in Georgia.
which is in Georgia.
Yeah, the Peach State.
So the finals will be played on January 20th, and then this will be the first national championship a black head coach will be in for the first time ever per ESPN. Thought that was kind of crazy, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about the national champions over the last. They've been coached by the same dude who's now on College Game Day.
Yeah,
So
Pat McAfee.
yeah, Kirby Smart and and Nick Saban. Like Texas has, I don't know who Vince.
Sarkisian.
Yeah, but he wasn't the coach when Vince Young was there.
No. I don't know who it
Mac
was.
Brown, UNC. Like they're a lot of coaching has turned over. Urban Meyer, like they're all. Yeah, there's another
Pat
one.
Narduzzi.
Yeah, right. If he ever makes it there, which he won't.
He was a spectator. So that about wraps up college football here. So next podcast we'll have a national champion.
Yeah, I'll be wearing red because it'll be Ohio State.
We'll see. Time will tell. A little bit of NFL news here. The Vikings and Lions will be playing for the division as we speak right now. Whoever wins the game will be the 1 seed. Whoever loses the game will have the 5th seed.
We'll
with
lose in the
14
playoffs.
That's just crazy.
wins. Yeah, 5th seed with 14 wins. That's basically
Who does the 5th seed play? Who would they play? Who's for?
the Bucks
Yeah.
because
You would go down to Tampa?
because
Yeah, but that Buccaneers team is either like the worst team in the NFL or the best. So.
Here's the thing. If the Bucks line up against Jared Goff, who's having probably his best season in the NFL, and that entire Lions team, who somehow are getting back their entire IR minus Hutchinson, good luck. Or they line up against Minnesota, who is also playing pretty well, and they have Flores' defense, who the Steelers should have, but they don't. And you have to line up against them. That's tough no matter who you play.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Minnesota.
probably. One other thing around the news: the Pro Bowl rosters were announced. The Steelers have 4 starting players, 3 on defense, and obviously the league's MVP and Chris Boswell.
Yeah, the league's highest point scorer.
Kind of upset that Christian Kuntz didn't make it. I mean, granted, there's only one long snapper that makes it.
Who is the long snapper?
I couldn't remember.
How do you even like snapper?
The long snapper for the Bengals punt team was the one that recovered the fumble last night.
That was it?
Yeah, his last name's Anamitis. He was a year below me at Central.
Oh, Cal.
Yeah, he's good friends with. Ty was decently friends with him when they were in school together.
Huh, that's kind of cool. Didn't know that. So yeah, obviously the team that's making the Super Bowl, those players don't play the Pro Bowl, so maybe we could get a couple other Steelers in there as a alternate picks.
Yeah,
Or
Justin Fields.
Maybe if we get lucky, none at all. But that's not going to happen. So
Maybe we could make the Super Bowl. I see what you're saying, and then no one goes to the Pro Bowl.
I would prefer.
We
it that
can go
way.
in their place.
Oh, good idea.
The 4 of us. I got dibs on kicking though.
I'll cover Justin Jefferson.
I would pay so
Buddy,
much
we don't
money.
have a quarterback. We
I
have
would
we have
pay-
a free safety.
I would pay so much money to watch that. Like an absurd amount. Like I would actually sell off my entire comic book collection just to watch Tiggs for 1 down. Covered.
No, because he's going to go like this, and he's going to be 50 feet behind me.
Dill,
Buddy,
you,
I've seen you turn on
Before
roller
I even
skates.
turn around.
You'd be cooked.
Dill, you taking interior defensive line or outside linebacker?
I think he's taking D-line.
Left bench.
I guess Corey's going to be Cam Hayward then, because that makes most sense. He can be TJ Watt. Or I can be TJ because, I got that dog in me.
Vetoed.
Chihuahua.
I'm actually allergic to dogs and cats.
And everything.
And
everything.
I was going to say, and everything outside.
And then one last thing here. Eagles sat Saquon today being 100 yards short of the record.
Smart decision.
Very smart. Do you guys think that there should be like a little asterisk next to all these records that are being broken from
No.
people that have had rushing records, receiving records, whatever kind of record you want to name from years and years ago when the games were a lot shorter?
No.
I think so. I think if you break a record in more games played than the league used to be, you have an advantage there. That's just my opinion.
Go ahead, Dub.
My opinion is, even if you play more games and you have less carries or receptions, I think that voids it because
Correct.
you're doing it. Now, if you had, say Saquon broke his record and had 100 extra carries, yeah, you might put an asterisk next to that. But if he did it in like 5 less carries, then it's like tough.
But it's also not fair to the players breaking that record because it's,
Right.
it's not your choice that you're now playing that many games.
I mean, that's fair. I still think that that the record's broken. I just think that it should be looked at differently with the amount of games that are being played now versus even 10 years ago.
10 years from now, we might be playing 25 games too, so you never know.
I definitely think they're going to go to 20, like within the next 5.
Can't wait till the Super Bowl's in June.
Hey,
Like-
maybe
Like
Pittsburgh
the
goes to 10.
like the Stanley Cup Finals were a few years ago during COVID. It was in July. Montreal was playing Tampa in July.
Yeah, we were over my
What a
house.
year.
I was in New Jersey. We were watching it on a balcony. We were watching it through the windows of the balcony. 6 of us lined up in like these chairs on the balcony of like this hotel.
Moving on to the good old Pittsburgh Steelers.
And we this concludes football because we don't really want to talk about that.
For last episode, we covered the Christmas game. Steelers just decided not to show up. They lost 29-10.
There was a lot of bad decisions in that game.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad decisions in last night's game too, but we'll cover those in a couple seconds here. Our only points were off of a Boswell field goal and a Russell Wilson rushing touchdown. Defense held their own, stopping their running backs and maybe even receivers. I think Xavier Worthy to only 69 rushing yards, but we couldn't stop Mahomes for the life of us.
No.
And Kelsey kind of looked like prime Kelsey with, I think he had 8 for 89 and a touchdown.
Wasn't hard for him.
No, it wasn't.
Wide open touchdown too.
And obviously with that win for the Chiefs, they clinched the home field and the number 1 seed. Any comments on that game from the crowd?
It was just bad. Like they just looked unmotivated to be there.
Completely outclassed. Anytime it was the same as like when we used to play the Patriots. Like when you play a coach that knows what they're doing very, very well, we're never going to play well because they'll just find the weakness in our defense and just manipulate it.
Yeah, I think that's well
They
said.
ruined my Christmas.
Yeah, they could have just had that on a Sunday. Like,
You
why
know how many
ruin
little
Christmas?
kids got like probably open up Christmas presents in the morning and there was like Steeler tickets? And they're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're going to spend Christmas at Heinz Field.
They said we're going to see Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a Pittsburgh kid getting a Patrick Mahomes jersey and be like, "Hey kid, you're a Chiefs fan today because your Steelers ain't gonna win today."
Could you? I would throw it right out the window. Be like, what is this? Santa got his address. Is confused.
Yeah. Wrong state. Oh, good save. So yeah, that's all I really want to talk about the Christmas game. I don't really want to talk about last night's game either because as Tiggs just, that's what it about did to me. Put me to sleep for the first half. So before that game, the Steelers obviously had that 10-day stretch of 3 games, went 0-3. And I feel like that was a stretch that either made or break our season. I feel like if we got at least 1 win out of those 3 games, we'd be in a different situation right now. But, I mean, 3 games in 10 days is a lot.
Chiefs, Ravens, and Texans did the same thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and look how the Texans did on Christmas.
they had 2 points, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Derrick Henry ran. He was, instead of going up the middle, he tried to, like, cut back. And I was just like, oh, Jesus.
We did better than the Texans then, point-wise.
Yeah, by a whole 8.
8 points, 8.
I think they're in a better spot than we are right now.
Are they? I mean, they won
They're
the
hosting
division.
a home playoff game, at least.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we would be, too, if we were in the AFC South.
I mean, to play the opponents that we did in the stretch that we did, that's brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing all Super Bowl contending teams, minus the Bengals, and the Bengals aren't a Super Bowl contending team because of their record, not because of the team.
I really was. It's hard. Here's my opinion on what your guys is. I wanted the Bengals to make the playoffs, just so that week 1 they'd have to travel to Buffalo. They had a decent chance to beat Buffalo, in my opinion. And then if they were to win that game, then they would travel to Kansas City.
Yeah, and
Which
we all know Joey B got Patty M's outnumbered.
And they would take care of Buffalo and Kansas City.
Yeah.
And then
And then the
we would somehow
Steelers-
win 2 games.
The Steelers would crip walk past with George Pickens fighting the fans.
But yeah, obviously
I would agree with
didn't
you.
work out.
I wanted them in the playoffs. I like Joe Burrow. I think it's
Joe Shiesty.
kind of hard not to like him.
So speaking of the Bengals, we'll move on to last night's game here. First half, about put me to sleep.
Yeah. It was. Everyone always was like, "We're a second half team." Well, learn to be a first half team.
How about we just learn to be a 4-quarter team?
Yeah, like you.
After the halves, just play for 4 quarters.
Do you know this was the first season in I can't remember how long, but the Steelers didn't score on any of their opening drives.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, wasn't that like some kind of record or something?
I think it was since the '60s.
Impressive.
Right. That's when.
Hey,
That's
that
when.
record
That's when
has
our
an asterisk next to it because there's one more game played.
Definitely no
besides that.
problem.
right. Our dads were all just being born in the '60s, probably. So.
More
My
impressive.
dad was born in 1970.
Well, mine was '60s. I was close.
He is 50. 4. Anyway, Steelers lost 19-17 last night. What's your guys' thoughts on Russ's pocket awareness recently? Obviously, the
terrible.
line.
He looks like he belongs in an old person home. Him.
Yeah, he looks worse than Pickett.
Yeah. Him. Yeah.
They got happy feet.
So there's this guy that plays adult league. You guys all know who he is. His name's Joe.
Joe Pascucci.
Russ looks like him and Joe are line mates in the old folks' home, playing a recreational sport. He's hung on to the ball way too long. He looks like he's tap dancing behind the line. Like, I don't understand how you can't just do. We're supposed to have some of the fastest receivers in the game. Hit a slant and catch the ball.
We don't use the middle of the field, pal.
We don't actually use any of the field. So
Speaking of his awareness, there was like 40 seconds left in the game last night. Might have been first or second down, second and 10. First or second and 10.
I think
He
it was second.
He rolls out of the pocket, had nothing open. Instead of just throwing the ball away to just stop the time,
Or run out of
he
bounds.
decides, or to run out of bounds, yes. He decides he's just going to run for 3 yards, get hit.
And try to take out a linebacker.
Yeah.
He actually just torpedoed himself. Did you?
Correct.
It reminded me of remember when Pickens? I think it was when we played the Raiders, and he like tried to like throw that like
And he just like
that
himself.
jump back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I don't know what Russ was thinking there, what the 3 yards really would have mattered at that point.
Yeah, Boswell's hitting from 70. I don't know why.
You either take those 3 yards or 12 seconds, and I'm taking the 12 seconds.
I would have rather given Boswell a chance to hit a 70-yard field goal than do whatever the hell we did.
Yeah.
Although that pass to Freiermuth on 4th down was a great pass, just was better defense.
Well, the other thing too is it's 3rd and 10 or whatever, and we decide to launch a ball to Pickens. Why are we doing that on 1st down?
Correct.
Why?
That's the only first down.
That was the
pass
same
play
thing
we
with
have.
that was the same thing with Mike Williams. The same thing. It was 3rd and 10. We throw a 26-yard nuke to him. Where's that on 2nd down or 1st down? Like 1st down, we're running. All right, Najee gets 2 yards. Warren gets 3 yards. Now we're 3 and 5. This is exactly where the Steelers like to be. Oh, what are they doing? They're throwing 40-yard bombs down the sidelines. Like, I just don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Speaking of Pickens, last night he just didn't show up.
Well,
3 drops, 1 catch, 0 yards.
fight with fans.
Correct. I don't know if you guys tuned into the post game.
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you watch after? Did you keep the news on when they were interviewing the fans?
Yeah.
They were all leaving after the first quarter. They were like, I didn't think it was going to be this cold. They're like, I had heated gloves, heated vest, heated pants. I had hand warmers in my shoes, and this cold's just different. I'm like, well, what'd you expect? It's 3 degrees outside.
Right. It's 3 degrees, and you're sitting right by, I don't know, a large body of water. I wonder what's going to
3 of
happen.
them.
Yeah.
And the one dude goes, yeah, we were so cold. We bought these nice blankets. He hasn't wrapped around himself. Him and his girl both had one. He was like, yeah, we spent $50. And I'm like, $50 each.
Yeah, that's not the Steelers store does not sell $25 blankets. They sell $25 terrible towels. So.
Yeah. Defense did their job in their second half, as they typically do. Held the Bengals to 6 points, but we couldn't. I was very, very hopeful on that last drive too.
Yeah.
But
then you settle for a field goal. Like the third and fourth down where you couldn't even get a yard line. They're like, what are you doing? I still don't understand why we can't line Darnell Washington's big ass up and just push him. He is 6'8". You're telling me this a linebacker who's probably 6 foot is going to meet him and he ain't going to get a yard? I find that hard to believe.
I just don't understand why in that scenario they didn't give the ball to Najee.
Yeah, they said, okay, Warren.
Yeah, and then here Russ.
Too busy running Najee on tosses where nobody's.
Yeah, they got Van Jefferson out there.
They asked Tomlin in the post-game conference last night about why the difference between this Bengals game and the last Bengals game, and he said we prepared this game differently and it didn't succeed.
Well,
I just
don't do that again.
Well, I can't wait to see what's on Hard Knocks tomorrow because I would love to see how they prepared. Because the first half looked like they just were just like, all right, guys, it's like backyard football. Here's the football. All right, you guys are just going to run. You're just going to go out and just see how far you can run, and I'll hit you along the sideline for a bomb. And then it's like, all right, we're going to do this HB toss that's, the A button twice on PlayStation, and we're going to see how far you can get running to the outside. It's like...
Also didn't help that AJ's favorite Steeler, Corey Trice, just got cooked by Jamar Chase. And that T. Higgins went out of the game because he was hurt, and then Porter jumped on Chase at least the fourth quarter. I don't know about the whole second half.
Yeah, and you know what he did in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Nothing.
But
yeah, Corey Trice.
That's all I got on the Steelers here. Besides the fact that we only averaged 14 points over our last 4 games. Heading into playoffs, definitely want to be a team that's hot going into playoffs, and we are the complete opposite of hot right now.
Yeah, we're like not even lukewarm.
Hey, Russ said that they're going in with him.
Okay.
That means you forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know what that meant.
You know who's not going to forget? All the Twitter faithful. As soon as Russ F's up in Baltimore, it'll be where's Fields? Where's this? I feel bad for Tej. I feel bad for Cam. I feel bad for this. And it's like, I'm sick of feeling bad. Why don't we do something?
I love Cam Hayward, honestly.
I like Cam.
No, there's no you love Cam Hayward.
I mean,
dude's just a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yeah, I would agree. I just, how many more seasons do we have of the same shit?
Probably more than you probably want.
Exactly. So maybe I'll go back to not watching football.
Could try that. Maybe you're the problem.
It could be me.
It is you.
They have a winning record when I'm there, according to Memento, but
Hashtag not an ad.
Yeah, no free ads.
Chargers won today against the Raiders, so we'll be driving to Baltimore, like you said. I don't think the day or time is announced yet.
What pick in the draft is the Raiders? The Patriots F themselves.
Yeah, because they
Did you
won
see
today.
that?
No.
Yeah, Joe Milton decided to turn into prime Tom Brady on.
No, he was prime RG3.
Did you see him do the backflip after he scored too?
No.
He scored a rushing touchdown, did a full backflip in the end zone. He's like, I'm a backup. F it. He had like 250, 2 touchdowns.
I'm fairly confident the Raiders are top 5.
They are 100%.
I
know the Titans are
I
1.
don't think they are. I think it's Titans. It's Titans, Cleveland.
Jets or one
But
of the
the
Jets won today too.
Colts are up there too.
It's Titans, Bengals, Giants, Patriots, Jacksonville. I want to say the Raiders are probably 6 or 7. stat guys
We
check.
had CBS. is
I know I
loading.
got the top 5.
What'd you say it was?
The top 5 are Titans,
Yes.
Browns,
Yes.
Giants,
Yes.
Patriots,
Yes.
Jaguars.
Yes.
Who's 6?
The Raiders.
Oh, boom.
And then the Panthers. Panthers are 7.
Yeah, Panthers kind of cooked. Like,
Well, yeah, they sat Bryce Young and they had a stern talking to, and they said, if you don't grow 3 inches and start playing like you did at Alabama, we're going to get rid of you. And he said, I got this.
He
said-
didn't grow 3 inches, but
He didn't go
run
3
a
inches,
play.
but he turned into a competent quarterback.
yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for football.
Who do you think Cleveland's drafting?
I hope Shador Sanders.
No, again, I said this earlier today. Whoever drafts him, their GM is getting fired in 3
Well,
years.
somebody's drafting him.
That's
in
great.
the top 10, probably.
And he's going to get fired.
Oh, I hope it's Cleveland.
I don't think Cleveland takes him. They just reworked Watson.
There's not a single quarterback worth taking in this draft.
The only one that is and I said this to Ty yesterday. The only one that's worth taking is Jackson Dart because he's like.
Well, I think Cam Ward's better than.
I think Cam Ward is better than him. I just think that Jackson Dart is more prepared than him.
Yeah, I would love to have Jackson Dart as our quarterback.
People said if Drew Aller, who
Oh God,
I
no.
cannot stand.
No,
That's like the same conversation. As
not even Penn State. I will not watch the Steelers if we.
They
draft
said
Drew
if Drew
Aller.
out, well, he's going back to school.
Yeah, he's going back. anyways.
Yeah, just to lose to Ohio State again. So, and Michigan. They said if Drew Aller was in the draft, he would be QB1 over everybody else. And I'm like, did they watch the same Penn State season that I've watched for a long time? Now, people that go to Penn State, the two kids that I have that are 3 kids I've had that are attending there right now,
How many kids you got?
a lot. They love him.
He's got Tyreek Hill Jr. over here.
Like they think they're gonna stomp Notre Dame and it's gonna be Ohio State and Penn State, and if that is the case, I cannot wait to take a big fat dunk on those players that I used to coach. However, I do not want Drew Aller to be a Steeler. I do not want to see that ever. Unless, I just don't want to see him.
I feel like that would be the equivalent of drafting Kenny Pickett.
No, because Kenny was better.
Yeah, Kenny actually looked like a legit quarterback in his senior season. Drew Aller kind of just is there.
Kenny hit that fake slide and they had to change a rule. What?
Yeah, you know you're good when there's a roll. There's a
Yeah.
roll after you.
It's called the KP slide.
You ever hear the cha-cha slide? That's
Yeah.
from me hitting my wedding. The KP slide.
Yeah, and then he's gonna tear his ACL, and we're never gonna hear
get
from
up,
him.
get up and demonstrate right now.
No,
The
I'll
KP
probably
slide.
tear my ACL.
Yeah. We're injury prone here.
Yeah. Some of us are. I was looking at Dylan, our guest,
Our guest.
our ghost Corey. Yeah, that's all I got for NFL. Playoffs start next weekend. I'm ready, born ready. Can't wait to watch Steelers do what they got to do.
Yeah. You know what's gonna happen? This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Be cooked.
You just sit there screaming.
Failure
at
to
the TV
prepare
for 2
is
hours.
preparing to fail.
Yeah. So here's what's gonna happen. Russ is
Get
gonna
that
Russ is gonna say, "Let me." I wanted to sick quote whenever he got it. Russ is gonna be like, "Let me cook," and then he's gonna flip the pancake, and it's gonna get stuck to the ceiling, and we're gonna be like,
Hey, remember,
and Lamar's gonna be making a whole 5-course meal.
every
on us.
win streak starts with 1.
It does. And we are not on one right
Yeah.
now. We're on 0. We're on a 4-game.
Gotta
losing
get
streak.
1 to get 3, and I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know. I'm interested to watch that game.
I think we should go.
See what team shows
I'm
up.
not going.
No,
You
I'm
are
okay,
out of your
actually.
mind.
I'll ask Corey, see what he's doing.
Oh, what? So he can die?
Yeah. Except I'm not saving him. That's your job.
He's like,
Um,
I'm actually just gonna let him go.
Corey's not allowed him back in the city of
No.
Baltimore.
They actually banned him permanently. If you guys don't know the story, you're never going to know it, so don't ask.
Well, that's a not Cheryl story.
Yeah, no. That's a rated R story.
Yep.
Rated R.
Funny.
Thanks. I guess I was the only one that thought it was funny. On that note, since everyone hates me here, James, why don't you just start talking?
Sure. We can start with the Winter Classic. That was on. So it was on New Year's Eve. It was also the lowest rated or watched Winter Classic since they started doing it. The Blackhawks played the Blues. The Blues absolutely shit pumped them. It was 6-2. The Blackhawks arrived via the Red Line train, had that sick walkout with the bagpipes from the train all the way to the stadium.
Was it at Wrigley?
Yes, it
That's
was.
what I thought.
And Cam Fowler actually scored in his 1,000th game. I think it's sick that his 1,000th game is an outdoor game. But with the Winter Classic, this is a group question, I guess. Do you feel like it's kind of lost its...
I was just about to say that. Nobody really cares about it anymore.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that contribute to this, and I had this conversation with B-Rad. But first off, you have two teams that suck. You have two of the bottom feeder teams in the league.
But you have the up-and-coming face in the NHL.
Correct. But there's nobody around him. Like, when McDavid came in, he at least had people around him. Bedard literally has nobody around him.
He's got Nick Foligno.
Right. Who ended up fighting, too. Nothing will ever beat when Corey Perry got kicked out with, like, in 2 minutes.
Yeah. That long-ass walk he had back to the locker room.
Yeah.
I
But
asked for a golf cart.
yeah, so I mean, it was sub 1 million viewers. I think having it on New Year's Eve at 5 o'clock when Penn State is playing was a terrible idea from whoever decided that. I don't know why you just don't keep it on New Year's Day. Like, I feel like that's a New Year's Day
I
thing.
think it's a staple.
Yeah. And true, like, there's not in the NHL. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but like the NHL does not do a good job at marketing the young guys in the league. Like, you can't market Matthews right now because he's hurt.
He's
Although
back.
he just came back.
And he had like 4 points last night.
Yeah, shocker. But like, why
I
aren't
was
you putting?
mad about that because they took him off the IR after the lineup's already locked, so I
Yes.
couldn't even put him in.
But like,
Why you gotta do your research early like me?
why are you putting like? I understand you're putting, but you want to put Bedard in there, but put him against somebody with a team that people want to watch. Put him against McDavid. Put him against Celebrini. Put him against Sid. Like, there's a lot of teams that I think the Blackhawks could have played at Wrigley that would have been better than the Blues.
Maybe the Pirates.
Well, my other thing too is that, like, they haven't been as bad the past like year or two, but the Winter Classic kind of lost its allure when they started doing all the other
That's what I
outdoor
was gonna
games.
say.
Yes.
Like, it used to
I
be a
don't think
special
they're doing
thing.
Are they doing the rest of
No,
it?
I
They
don't
stopped
think
doing
so.
them.
The last one I think they had was Vegas and Colorado when it was like 70 degrees outside and the ice kept melting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
I think for next year's Winter Classic, I'd like to see 2 Canadian teams.
That'd be cool.
They did Montreal and I don't think they've ever done Montreal and Toronto. Like, I feel like a lot of people would watch that. And
That's how we go to Toronto.
and then
They play at the Blue Jay Stadium, open the roof.
that's what I said, to play at the Blue Jays. That's a 6 stadium. I did see rumors that there might be another Sid
Yeah.
and Ovi one
Groundhog
coming.
over here.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool. What the like the end of their
That's Tony
careers.
Phil laying on the couch.
Yeah, I think Sid and Ovi would draw views.
I'd go.
That would just be like you couldn't do the Pens and Flyers right now. The Flyers are
And they already did that.
stink.
Recently, 1975.
And then you can't they have to pick better teams. I think that's really what it comes down to. And there's no marketing around the event, so I think for now the Winter Classic could definitely benefit from a small siesta of a break, and then come back, or put 2 Canadian teams in it. So, moving on.
Or they could play it in Florida. Have the Panthers and Lightning play it in Florida.
Yeah,
In
that's a
Miami.
great idea.
Yeah, in Miami.
You could do it in Miami because the stadium's enclosed.
That it's not outside.
It doesn't matter.
Do it in
Call it the Winter Classic in the summer.
the Dominican Republic.
That's a great idea. I know Bruce
Yeah.
is playing it.
We could actually just go to Dallas.
Why don't we just go play it on the equator?
Right. So moving on, the Red Wings booted their head and assistant coaches, and then Todd McClellan was hired. I do not think he's going to be the answer for the Red Wings. He's like the Kirk Cousins of coaches. He gets fired and hired and rehired and fired
What
and
was the
rehired.
last team he was with?
The Kings, I think.
When they weren't.
He was
Good.
on the Sharks, then he was on the Kings, and then I want to say I think it was the Kings. Dale, can you check that? Thank you.
Wake up, please, and
No, I told you, he's
Drop.
punk Tony Phil over there. He lays down and he just peeks up, goes back down.
Our host doesn't have a chair, so I'm laying down on the couch right now.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a chair.
I think it was
Bring your own one.
so. Yeah, I think it was the Kings, but I just don't think he's going to be the answer that the Red Wings need. I think they need a young guy.
Maybe they should just boot Geiserman.
I would be. You know who? I don't think they would boot him right now. Go ahead, Dill.
His career was Sharks, Oilers, Kings, and now Red Wings.
So yeah. So Brock Nelson,
Second camera
for
faces.
the Islanders, he was looking for an extension to start the year. It's definitely not coming, so he's going to look to test the market. He has 10 goals, 11 assists in 38 games right now.
yeah, he's not doing too well.
No, he's very average. I can't imagine. I don't know what team is going to sign him. He's like a little bit older too now. I just can't imagine a team putting that much money into somebody that has.
The Sharks.
Well, speaking of the Sharks, they're looking to sign Granlund to an extension, which is crazy because we traded him as a cap dump. And he has 11 goals, 23 assists in 38 games. So he's about a point per game right now, a little bit less than that. I saw they're looking for a 3-year extension for him. I think whatever he gets, Nelson's going to try to get something similar, and I think that would be a terrible idea for whoever signs Nelson.
Maybe he should come to the Penguins because he always kills the Penguins. Then he can't kill us anymore.
You know who I would have loved the Penguins to get? Not now because he's a little bit older now.
Oh, Horvat?
Eberle.
Oh, yeah.
He was a Penguins killer.
Well, he's also a good power play guy. Always has been.
Yeah. But he's on the Kraken. Also, Jimmy Vesey's being shopped to the surprise of absolutely nobody. He's in and out of the lineup. He's like, I feel like he was a guy that came right out of college and everyone was real high on him. And then he got to the NHL and everyone was like, he's actually just mid. So
I think he was at the stage where like American-born players weren't exactly like as elite as they are now. So
Yeah.
he kind of got overhyped.
then we're going to move into the World Juniors. I haven't been able to watch as many games as I wanted to. They're on at like very odd hours of the day. But the first big thing that came out of the World Juniors was Latvia stunned Canada in the group stage in a shootout where their goalie stopped 55 of 57 shots.
That's kind of crazy.
That's pretty wild. Latvia ended up losing yesterday, I believe, in the semis I think it was the semis.
USA hockey is do or die.
Yeah, USA beat Czech after Czech beat Canada. So, Canada was knocked out for the second year in a row by Czech. And then, I don't know if you guys saw, but the Czech team was playing, they were singing Canada's victory song in their locker room afterwards.
That's kind of crazy.
Thought they were the Bengals.
Well, you know what I did see yesterday? Mike Johnson is one of Canada's coach, like the old Penguins coach.
Oh,
Oh,
my
that
God.
explains a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that makes. You could chalk that up as a yep. So, Canada's goalie, though, Carter George, he, I think, played really, really well. He had a 1.01 GAA and a 0.963 save percentage. That's pretty crazy. Like, that's.
Those are similar to my numbers.
Mm-hmm.
When?
You know?
I think I've seen.
Boy, next year we're not a goalie.
I just wanted you to say all the time so that I could say, yeah, I know.
I'm selling my pads to get us a
Goggles.
green screen.
Get us a green. You said goggles. He said green screen.
It's actually a green screen of goggles.
It just.
I wish he would have met goggles.
Who was goggles?
Dylan's favorite person. It was this guy that used to come to South Park all the time, and he played goalie. So he would always come. He would always be there when we used to go down in like summer 16. And one day he shows up out his pads, and we're like, "Goggles, like, where's your pads?" He goes, "I threw them away." We're like, "Why?" He goes, "I found a mouse in my bag." So he threw away his goalie pads. And then I'll randomly see him at like Penn's games or like Giant Eagle. He'll be like, "Hey Zach," and I'm like, "Oh Christ!"
What's his actual name?
Matthew?
Oh,
And he also like
last name.
But he
Biz.
he also claimed that he made like $17,000 from painting people's houses.
Okay.
like over like a week or something like that. Like
How many houses he paint?
Must have been Ben's house.
It's actually the whole woodworking.
Hey, Pens went to overtime for like the 13th time this season.
I did have a lot of when we did our record predictions. I did have a lot of overtime.
You did.
losses.
We all thought you were crazy.
Hey, look,
too.
it is our 13th. I wasn't lying.
Yeah. Back to Canada. They did lose. I think that the whole Canada over everybody else in hockey is slowly dying. I think Team USA is shit bumping them at every stage right now.
We'll see when the.
When the Four
I
Nations.
almost said the Fiesta 4.
Is that sponsored
When the
by
Ford,
Tostitos?
yeah, the Ford Focus Fiesta 4. And then we tweeted out some players to watch. They're not doing too bad. Dvorsky for Slovakia. He has 4 goals, 3 assists. He actually looks real sick. Logan Hensler, Team USA. He had 1 assist. He's a +3 right now. Gabe Perreault. I think he's now up to 3 or 4 goals and 2 assists. He's playing. I think he's playing he's one of the better Team USA players right now. Victor Eklund, who is Eklund's younger brother.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It is. He plays for Team Sweden. He has 2 goals and 3 assists. And then the last guy is Gavin McKenna. He is the youngest Team Canada player. He's actually only 17 years old. He had 1 goal and about 4:30 average ice time, but he started as the 13th forward on the team and has now previously worked his way into the top 6. I feel like that's pretty hard to do when you're 17. You're playing with guys that you're a whole year older, or like that are a whole year older than him.
Yeah.
But McKenna's supposed to be. He's projected to be the top pick in the 2026 NHL draft.
Interesting.
So he has another whole. He'll be team.
You know who's going to draft him?
Yeah,
The
us.
Sharks.
The Sharks.
No, us. We're gonna tank for him. We're actually gonna get the magic when they do like the ping pong balls, and it's gonna come out, and my arm's stuck in my thing right now. But that's where. No, it's like actually. Oh, there we go. It was stuck though. Like, I was not lying.
Yeah, the Chinese finger trap.
Yeah. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the everything in the NHL so far? Oh, Frank Vertranos re-signed today.
I did see it 3 years.
3 years. Most of his is actually deferred cap. So,
Oh, okay.
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
well, I think that they did it to avoid the taxes in California. So
Probably why the Dodgers do it too.
The Anaheim Dodgers.
no, the Dodgers do it so they can just stockpile people. You imagine being in the farm system of the Dodgers? Like, you're never playing for them.
No.
Did you see that tweet that was like they're doing $100 million like renovation to Dodger Stadium? And they're like, those construction workers are going to be pissed when they get that money in 40 years.
It's all deferred. One thing I want to talk about in the NHL is speaking of the Penguins going overtime, they just lost.
There's another one.
One thing that I saw on Twitter is something that I think that the league should look into. Part of their new CA is if you win a offensive zone faceoff, you shouldn't be able to bring the puck back out past the center line, like willingly, unless and then there would be some sort of like penalty or like stoppage of game. Because a lot of these teams, what they'll do is they'll win the face off. They'll bring back the defenseman if they don't like what they're doing, or if they need like a change. They'll bring the puck all the way back out to the neutral zone, get their bodies on or whatever they need to do, and then have it rush in. I don't know. I think that slows down the 3v3. I like it when it's just chaos back and forth. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that, but that was something that I read the other day that I think would be beneficial.
That's tough. Because, like, do I like the chaos of it? Yes. But from, like, a coaching strategy perspective, I like the reset. Like, we teach our players to reset. So, I could say I'm in the middle, which is kind of a cop-out answer, but I feel like I'm in the middle on it.
Anyone else?
I don't really have an opinion on it.
Dill was sleeping, so.
No, I have something off topic.
Yeah.
Different topic. Different sport whenever we're done with it.
Oh.
Oh, we're done, I
Which
think.
one?
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Breaking news: the wild card schedule has been released.
Oh, okay.
And the Steelers play 8:00 on Saturday.
Ah! Barnacles.
It is
I knew they were gonna
Chargers
play on
Texans
Saturday.
4:30 Saturday. Us Ravens, Amazon Prime.
We're on
Oh
Amazon
my
Prime.
We are on
God.
Prime
Oh.
Video. Yes,
Now it just became even more unwatchable.
No, just watch it on local TV.
it will be on local because it's. But
yeah.
the Monday night game is the loser of the Vikings and Lions versus the Rams, which I don't know why that's the Monday night.
Oh, so they play the Rams, not the Bucks.
They play the Rams. It's the Commanders and the Bucks on Sunday night.
Oh, Commanders are shitting
That'll
all
be a
over.
good game.
Why do you work Saturday night?
Oh no, I work Saturday.
Yeah, I mean you'll be home.
Yeah, you'll be home.
Well,
Like
I was
right on
I was
time.
gonna go to the game with Corey.
Oh, I was gonna go too, but I guess not now.
I was like, damn, Zach works, can't go to the game. Corey, got a game? No, all right. We probably weren't gonna understand it anyways.
You
Let's-
weren't gonna understand.
That's also fair. Hey, just remember, we're the
Sure.
ones.
You're still the two.
You're still the two. Corey's like 1.5 right now.
That's true.
No, he's actually 3 because he's the reason we lost.
So you guys are the 2s and he's the 3.
Yes.
All I'm saying is I was the only one that didn't get hit by a tortilla.
We can change that.
Probably still sending.
They're probably extra firm now.
Yeah, they're real hard. That's what Corey should. Corey should have freezed them and not told anybody. Just put them in the freezer, just bring them over, and be like, "What the hell?" Get whacked by one, get knocked out. We'd be on the UFC Top Knockouts in 2024. Tiggs, why don't you wrap us up here with your Diamond news?
Yeah, this should be short and sweet. Just go
Love
over
short and
some
sweet.
notable signings. And I guess we'll unfortunately talk about some Bucks. So Corbin Burns signed 6 years, $180 million to Arizona, which I think he probably took less than expected because his market probably wasn't as big as he thought it was.
He turned down more money from Toronto and the Giants.
But how about
of the
Arizona
tax.
just like
Yeah.
spending money? That's crazy because they're like a similar market to us.
Minus the fact they have Corbin Carroll. We don't.
They have Gallon too.
That has nothing to do with
We have their
the
pitching coach though. We have their pitching. We have their pitching stud.
JD Drew is a dog, by the way. I've been playing a lot of Immaculate Good recently, and I'm not good.
Shout out Mark Reynolds too. He's a good one.
and I'm not good.
You know who's a good one is Edwin Jackson, because that dude played on like 14 teams.
And I suck.
Today's was they threw the Negro League in there too, so it was like the Negro League and Hall of Fame, Negro League and Dodgers, and then Negro League and 300 career batting average. I got those ones right.
Satchel Paige.
Yeah,
He was a
batting
pitcher.
Tay Oscar went back to the Dodgers, 3 years, $69 million.
Nice pay
Nice.
increase.
Was any of that deferred?
No, I don't think so.
It probably was, and they just haven't announced it yet.
They were like, keep us on a hush because everyone's going to get real pissed off at us.
I don't know why. I must have gone auto-corrected there. Peterson, 2 years, $28 million to Texas. I
Wish it would have been the Pirates.
would have loved to have him here. Hit
Yeah,
some
for
nukes into the river.
14 mil a year.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers also got Hai-Song Kim. I don't really get that one. I mean, he's probably not going to get as much playing time there.
Well, they'll shop Gavin Lux now, 100%.
Yeah,
Probably.
He could come here. I really don't care at this point.
Shohei's like, I got just a guy.
Remember what we were supposed to trade for Gavin Lux like 6 years ago?
Yeah.
It was for Felipe Rivero.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, well, good thing we kept
Wish we
him.
would have done that.
Yeah.
All things considered.
He's on Corey's favorite player list.
Yeah.
Apparently the Mets are the favorite to bring Alonso back. However, the Angels are interested.
Why the Angels are interested blows my mind.
The Angels will just be interested in the most random players.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. The
They
Mets are,
haven't known for the last 12 years.
right.
I might just turn off halfway in that.
The Tigers, Red Sox, and Blue Jays are apparently the current front runners for Bregman.
I think he's going to Blue Jays.
I think he's going to Detroit.
I mean, Detroit's not a bad team. I think that he's gone. The taxes are less in Canada.
Are they?
They have free healthcare too.
They have free healthcare, but that's the taxes are more because of that.
But you really want to go to Detroit?
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to go to Detroit,
They have a
but
nice stadium. Never been there, but shout out Mark. He's told me it's a nice stadium.
It is a nice stadium.
Detroit's like another team.
They have a tiger in their outfield.
Kind of like the Cubs that are like should probably be spending more money than they are because they're kind of a big market.
Detroit
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just came off of making the playoffs too.
Yeah.
And winning.
and a Cy Young.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff going on for them, so I could definitely see them getting Bregman. Multiple teams in the mix for Flaherty. I couldn't exactly find out who. Probably a big market team. I
Probably
would
the
assume.
Angels.
I think the
The Dodgers.
I think the Giants were one team mentioned for him. The Yankees are apparently interested in Jerks and Profar.
Of course they are.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they be?
I think the Pirates should be interested in him, but that's just my opinion.
I think you should make at least a phone call. I think the Pirate. Here's what the Pirates should do. Hey, what's he want? Oh, he wants over $5 million. The conversation's dead. Boop. See ya.
Telling you, they
Maybe
see
Bob Nutting just turned off Sherrington's cell service.
he
it-
probably
He's
just don't know.
actually in Fiore's.
Yes. Next.
Yeah.
he's in Fiore's right now.
Yeah.
That's
Old
why he
man.
can't call him.
Old man Fiore's like, try calling somebody.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Don't check the freezer.
Don't check. Hey. Don't open that.
Don't open that.
Hey, you got Ben's pizza.
Ben Cox. Favorite player.
No comment.
The Blue Jays submitted a proposal to Santander, and apparently the Astros are also in the mix for him.
Here-
Another team that the Pirates should probably just
Here's my
at
question.
least call them.
What does a proposal look like to a player?
Maybe these players just have the Pirates numbers blocked.
Yeah.
They see 4-2 come up, they're like declined.
Yeah.
Well, is it a proposal from the Pirates or is it a proposal?
No,
from
I'm
a
saying
real
I'm
team?
saying like it says Blue Jays submitted a proposal. What does that proposal like? Do they just bring them in and they're like it's like one of those like welcome to the organization seminar things? It's like hi,
They give them an orientation.
we are the Blue Jays. Vlad, first base. Bo, probably trading him. Like
It's like a slideshow.
They're like-
it says like in Toronto we are all family.
yeah. Then it's like
And
right
then at the bottom, free healthcare.
yeah, and then right on the next slide is like sponsorships and partnerships, and it's just like, do you know who Drake is? We partner with OVO. Like what?
And then like the person giving the slideshow just like skipping through something. Like, no, we don't need those ones.
He's like, shit, actually, those are from last year. I forgot to take those out. Santander's like, why does that say? He's like, oh, just ignore it. It's a typo. Like
Why
it's
am I here right now?
that's definitely like a Krispy Kreme white slide with blue font. Like,
Chauncey Billups looks like he's 60.
well, yeah. I mean, what is that? What is that? Like, I just want to know what an MLB
Could also just mean that like another word for the submitted like a contract.
well, like for example, right? What's the proposal for like the Pirates? Ready?
We give you unlimited Permani sandwiches.
I was waiting. It's like the first line. It says, "Welcome to the Steel City." Right? Then it's like, boom. Next slide. It's
Parking is only $200 a month.
yeah. Where would you like to park? Because it's going to cost you your entire contract. Next, it's like, what's there to do around the city? And then it's like, nothing. Next,
Kennywood.
it's like Market Square. Do you like to ice skate? Next, and it's like
He's a polar bear, so he probably can't ice skate.
That's true.
yeah, like I can't imagine. It's like, do you like food? We have Permani's, Noodles and Company, City Works.
And Cold Iron City.
Yeah. Do you like beer? Check yes. Or check yes again. Like, I don't know. I think you know what we should do. Let's put out a Pittsburgh proposal to MLB free agents because obviously our team isn't.
There you go. They'll get on it.
Bottom
Submitting our own
bottom
proposals.
box is post game bar.
Yeah.
How at the Moon.
You could go
Tom's
to Howl at
Hatch.
the Moon with Corey. He gets a discount. Okay, well, moving on from that.
We have 3 bodies of water. And if you're a lefty, you can hit one of them. Can't do that in New York or the Angels.
Right. And at the end, it's like, so, are you ready for our numbers? 2 years, $2 million each. Take it or leave it.
Everyone, and I put this in parentheses,
Those are called quotes.
whatever, are front runners for Sasaki, apparently. But 20 teams submitted not proposals, presentations.
Oh, wonder what those are about.
Like, same thing, right?
Here's for the Pirates. Paul Skeens.
Yeah, literally. That should be the Pirates' proposal. Paul Skeens.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had Jung Ho Kang. You ever heard of him? Great player.
Love to drink and drive.
Great driver.
We should probably cut that part out. That part probably shouldn't stay in.
Jung Ho Kang was one of like the first like big international signings.
For the Pirates? Or
I
in
mean,
general?
In general, probably.
Who was that dude? Oh, he played for Daisuke Matsuzaki
Yeah.
for the Red Sox. He had that
Oh,
sick.
I had a sick card of his. I gotta find
He
it.
was one of like the first big,
Wasn't there one? There was
like, at least Asian signings.
there was another one that played for the Diamondbacks. I want to say his last name was Kim. He had that wicked sidearm.
Oh, there
throw.
was that other guy too, Ichiro.
Yeah, he ain't bad.
Never heard of him. What about that one guy that used to play?
G1 Bay.
Where'd he play? Oh, that's gonna bug me. I think his name's Otani.
I heard he has a lot of deferred money.
He does.
Never heard of him. Apparently, he's supposed to be kind of good.
But yeah, apparently some were granted in-person meetings with him. No idea who. Probably not the Pirates.
They did a Zoom call. Speaking of Paul Skeens,
No, they sent him an email actually.
see Paul Skeens has a beard now.
Yeah, he needs a shave though.
He does, for the whole city's sake.
And then moving on, per John Heyman, he said, speculatively speaking, the Braves, Orioles, Blue Jays, Cubs, Nationals, and Mets are among the teams that could have some spending room and a desire for a short-term upside pay on Max Scherzer.
Out of those teams, whoever needs a pitcher, I think it's. I can't see the Cubs getting him. I don't think he would go back to the Nats. I think it's really going to be the Braves, Mets, or Orioles.
Yeah,
Or the Blue Jays for free health care.
the Braves apparently have a fountain of youth, so
I mean, they just find dudes.
it's probably in his best interest to go there.
Yeah,
but
they're like, come here, we'll put you on the same program Chris Sale's on.
it's actually just stem cell treatment.
I was going to say, he's down there with Rey Mysterio getting stem cell.
You know what, Chris Sale? Well, you know what? He went to the Braves and they instantly said, "They're like bicycles. You're not allowed to ride them." That was in his presentation.
That wasn't his proposal.
Yes.
Yeah. They said-
Bicycles, big zero and a line.
They said 4 wheels only.
And it's
Yeah.
just like a big red X over it.
Yeah. It's like the Impractical Jokers presentations, like where they made them for.
And speaking of the fountain of youth, as you said before, the Orioles got Charlie Morton on a 1-year deal estimated to be $15 million.
Oriole fans are not happy with that.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
How old is he?
I think like
38.
42.
I don't think he's that old.
No,
I think he's pushing.
he's over 40. I know.
I'm
that.
guessing he's 39.
I think he's 40.
None of us were right.
I said over 40.
You did say over 40.
You said 42.
41. He's 41.
You were the
Old.
closest without going over.
They're pretty old.
Yeah,
I
that
think this
old.
is his. I truly think this is probably one of his. This needs to be his last year.
He's chasing rings. even
He's
though he
either
already
gonna
got one, I'm
do.
pretty
He
sure,
he already got one. He has 2.
with the Braves.
Didn't he get one with? He was on Houston. So he closed Game 7 in Houston.
Oh, so Houston and
He has 2.
Atlanta.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Ground Chuck.
Right.
Ground
So
Chuck turned into not Ground Chuck.
No. It's now sliced.
I mean, that's very serious
Isley
for you, but
chip chop Chuck.
I
Isley chip chop Chuck.
Pirates proposal. Do you like your ham? Has to be chipped.
this is going.
No, it has to be chip chopped.
This is going off the rails.
I'm just giving no ideas for the proposal. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
You like French fries? They gotta go on top of your sandwich.
Hey. Watch
Speaking
this.
of grilled cheese, speaking of baseball, Melt officially closed.
R.I.P.
The service was ass.
Yeah, it was.
They had their Christmas decorations up in July.
But speaking of the Nats, they got Nathaniel Lowe for Robert Garcia. Never heard of him in my life.
He's the
Would
second
have
baseman.
taken Nathaniel Lowe.
He's a lefty.
Yeah, but then you'd have him and I guess you'd have him and Horwitz.
Well, no, I was saying like before Horwitz, because
Oh.
obviously Lowe was available, and Lowe's also a Gold Glove first baseman
Yeah, you're not wrong.
who can hit.
Not wrong.
And then I guess we'll move on to our Buccos here. Get our proposal ready.
Good Bucks.
According to Robert Murray, the Bucks are active in talks, contrary to popular belief. They
Until
apparently are trying.
Hey, as long as you try.
That's all that really matters in the end.
Right.
Give it your best effort.
Nice guys try hard.
Hold on. We need to take a brief timeout. The Detroit game is currently on with Minnesota. Jamar Gibbs just got speared like Roman Reigns by Van Ginkel.
Do you see Anal Zone's
Arm,
forearm?
yes. Look, what?
Did you just say,
What's this? Boom!
Did he just say anal zone?
I don't think he said that.
Yeah, did.
He said anal zone.
It's Anzalone.
I just got my letters mixed up.
I think Jared Goff just, Gibbs just got killed. Sorry, Tiggs again.
Yeah, then as we said before, Verdugo is a name that has popped up multiple times by multiple sources. So
Yep. and
more
it-
than likely he is going to be on the Pirates,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right.
which at this point I'll take.
Nope. I will boo him to oblivion on opening day and every game that I go to. I'll stand in the outfield like how they did with the Yankees and when they did the roll call, and I would just chirp him from the outfield. I'll buy the outfield seats just to do that.
Well, looks like you're going to be doing that.
Just like when that dude was chirping Ben Gamble, and then Ben Gamble turned around and did the. I think he went like this right to him.
Remember that game we were the Reds in left field and that Tommy Pham wanted to fight that like
Oh, yeah.
16-year-old in front of us? Pirates are also in talks to acquire Jorge Polanco as well.
Where'd you hear that? I didn't see that.
Sam.
I would take that in a heartbeat. I'd put him at shortstop.
He could play second and short. He's a switch hitter. Not that we need middle infielders, but
Yeah, I feel
I
like
mean,
we
we kind of need a shortstop.
yeah.
we actually have one. He plays center field.
Hey, when you get a minimum one game shortstop, one game outfield, O'Neal Cruz is phenomenal choice. One the other day, I was on such a heater. I think next podcast we're gonna need Immaculate Grid. Minimum one game at catcher, minimum one game at outfield. Henry Davis. 0.2%. I try to get as many Pirates as I can in there. Ross Oldorf.
Oh my God.
He was on the Yankees to start his career.
That's it. Immaculate Grid next podcast.
And then finally, Kutch is back. Not that anybody's surprised, but
They like trot him out of like the corpse of Christmas Past, and they're like, "Ha ha!
look! I know we did nothing the entire offseason.
But Kutch is
But
back."
Kutch is back.
Like,
Like,
okay,
it kind of lost its allure after
this is
last
what the
year,
third year.
but
No, it was last year. I thought you were talking about he played for the White Sox, and I'm like, when did he play for the White Sox?
I was about to say that too. I was like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Hopefully it doesn't snow opening day.
It
I
probably
mean, we're
will.
going. Marcus Stroman's going to be the pitcher, hopefully.
It's either going to be snowing or
He's not
it's
open-
going to
he's
be
not starting opening day. Are you
65
nuts?
degrees.
It's Garrett Cole.
Pirates don't. Do we open opening
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
Stroman will be out there.
Right, maybe on the sideline.
If they
Put Marcus Stroman out
if
there
they
instead of
trout
Garrett Cole.
Stroman out there for opening day to go up against Paul Skeens, no, they'll
Is that a
No,
violation?
that's called money. When you have Garrett Cole versus Paul Skeens on opening day.
Depends on how Garrett Cole pitches.
What if Garrett Cole gets hurt in spring training? Actually, what if all the pitchers do it?
What if all the Yankees pitchers were hurt except for Marcus Stroman? Oh,
Then
He
they're
has to start every game then.
then they're shouting out Mushnir Tanaka.
Yeah, right.
is he still in the league?
I don't think so.
CC Sabathia's coming out of retirement to pitch at that point.
Right. He's probably younger than Charlie Morton.
He might be.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see Kutch. I'm sure this will probably be his last year. We said that last year. And I just
He ain't
think
leaving
this-
until he has a ring.
He'll be playing until he's about 90.
He's just
when his son is playing center
Yeah.
field for the Pirates.
Steel's coming out.
Yeah.
They're like, it's Steel Kutch right here.
Push him out in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm here for it. Makes me more interested. I like Kutch. Always did.
Yeah, well, hopefully by the time we record our next episode, there will be some news for the Pirates, but I guess we'll see.
Guess we'll see. Speaking of Pirates, you know what's coming up soon?
Pirate Fest.
And boy, am I excited.
I'm not going.
I'm actually not really that excited. It was so boring last year outside of autographs.
Well, there's nothing to do.
Exactly. So if the autographs are no bueno, guess who ain't going? Me.
Guess who's going by themselves?
I'll go one day.
I'll be in LA.
I'll go with Ken's. Ken's and Johnny D.
They are going.
I'll say, hey, I'll drive to the house. Drive me there.
Bill, that was actually the last segment.
Okay, that's it. Cut.
Yep. That's all we got for episode 46. Shout out Joe Vitale and Blake Lizotte. And Zach Astorius, too. Was last week's Bilge 46?
No, we
I
have his.
think we had that
He's
discussion.
85.
Oh, we got a while. I'm writing that down. Episode 85. Shout
He's
out
gonna
last
go
week's
create
Village.
every episode
Yep.
up to 85.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You know it. I can't wait. I'm honestly more excited for that episode than I am for.
Wasn't
Pirate
Darius
Fest.
Hayward Bay number 85 too?
He didn't die. No, I don't remember that. Let's not play that game. Anyways, we'll wrap up episode 46 here with our hot takes. I'll start off. I say Steelers are going to lose wild card game by 10 plus. I don't know what the spread is. Obviously, it's probably not out yet.
I think it's. Oh wait, no.
They just
I
announced
think
the
that-
game about
I
it
think that was
20
somebody-
minutes ago.
What the spread would be?
What they guess?
6.5.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
They definitely came it out. It's the. Oh dear. Oh.
Is it out?
Yeah. 8.5.
Ooh!
8.5. Likes.
That's not great.
That's not good. Anyways, Dill, what you got?
Pitt men's basketball will not lose a game until the next podcast. They play Duke, Louisville, Florida State, and Clemson. I think Duke, Louisville, and Clemson are all top 5 in the ACC as of right now, I believe. So we got a tough schedule.
When is the game we're going to?
28th.
The 28th against
Well, yeah,
North
I
Carolina.
meant in. That's 2 games after. I was looking to see how many games were until UNC based off the ones you said we weren't going to lose. All right, the Jimmy.
I said the Steelers will win the wild card game by 10 plus points. So that is 10 or more.
That's what mine is too. Correct.
I'm just clarifying.
Just clarifying. Tiggs.
I said that Russ will throw for under 120 yards. However, the Steelers will find a way to win.
I hope he throws for 121 and we win.
I hope so.
I hope he throws for 120. 'cause that's
I
not-
hope that we schedule the next pod right before we play Clemson. Because you have that written down there.
Let me see when the Clemson game is.
No changing it now.
Nope.
Pretty sure we're okay. Pretty sure I did my research unlike you.
It's written.
I did my research.
Not for the
well
Duke
enough.
game.
Not
when
well
he
enough.
first brought it up, he had our podcast scheduled right around that time, okay?
Well, to be fair, if we would have started at 7, the game would have been over yet. So therefore, we still would have lost.
No, we would have sped through the podcast.
And Corey's, what are we going to call this? Mickey Mouse pick. Pickens will have 100 yards or more in a touchdown in the wild card game.
Has he had 100 yards this season?
Yeah,
Did we even
Once?
throw for 100 yards last game?
Nah, yeah.
barely. That's under 120, Tiggs.
If that's 119, oh, God.
All you got to do is just find a way.
You do have to factor sacks in because it is technically a stat. for passing. It's like Russ threw for 150, but he had like so many yards and sacks, which took him to 119. So he
That
finished.
counts for rushing yards.
No, it doesn't.
No, it
it's
doesn't.
Technically a
It
passing
counts for
stat.
pass.
Yeah,
Sacks
It
count
only-
against
it
passing.
only counts towards rushing if it's a designed run.
but it doesn't count towards Russ. It counts towards the team's
Oh,
team
yeah.
passing. So,
So is it team passing or Russ's
No, I
passing?
just said Russ throws
Right.
for 120
Okay.
yards.
All right.
That's so.
okay, I respect that.
Shout out to Mar Hamlin. Nice hoodie.
He's alive.
3 years ago. Wasn't it 3 years ago? I think I just saw. Yes,
No,
3
Two.
years
it
ago.
was
Yes.
Two.
It was 2 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it was 3.
Yeah, it was 2.
not
It was 3.
Yeah, it was 2.
It was
was 3.
definitely not 3.
Yes, it was.
When did DeMar Hamlin die and come back to life?
Jesus Christ. Just look up on his Instagram. Yeah, so 3 years ago.
Yep, that's math.
And on that note, Martin Luther King Day is coming up.
I'll be in LA.
So am I. We should golf. We do tomorrow.
Work.
Oh,
The hell do you think I do? There's gonna be 18 inches of snow tomorrow. I'm staying my ass home.
Damn, I gotta wake up for work soon because the roads they don't plow the roads before 7 a.m. around Pittsburgh.
You might as well leave for work now to get there by the time.
I'm leaving
you
at
say.
5:15.
I'd call off. I ain't driving into Oakland tomorrow, so
That's what you get for driving a sports car.
mine's all-wheel drive. It
So is mine.
goes, but I can do my job from home.
It goes.
Yeah,
It
right,
goes.
right into the
It
guardrails.
drives.
And on that note, get Yinzer, get out. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
What a pro wants. What a pro needs.
Fucking hot. Boom! I'll grab it. Hands.
Aaron Rodgers. We were just talking about football.
Hot start.
Yep. We can cut that out and restart.
Speaking of looking better than ever, that hat goes hard, Ticks. I like it.
Tell you.
We're the ones. You're the twos.
Next.